Hello again, everyone. I'm Dr. Steve Vargo, and this is another episode of Can I Ask You One Question, where we dive into the minds of industry experts and thought leaders, and we try to learn one critical thing from them that we can apply to our professional and maybe even our personal lives. And I'm happy to have back for the second time, the first one to have back twice.
Wow, I did not realize this.
You're
I
the
wasn't
one.
prepared.
Yeah.
I should have
Circle
dressed
back.
up for
I
that.
thought you might be wearing a tie or something for the occasion, but
Yeah,
you didn't
that's
know. So that's all right. Dr. Ryan Gustus, so happy to have you back.
thanks.
Ryan is a co-founder of LensQuote, which is a software platform built for practice owners to help drive more in-office contact lens sales. And as we've been talking, Ryan also offers a service called Profit Assist, which we're going to talk a little bit about, which helps owners assess contact lens profitability. So hello, Ryan.
Hey, thanks for having me for the second
For
time.
the second time. Ryan, with Profit Assist, you help owners determine such things as what should my contact lens pricing be? Are my prices competitive? What's the most profitable lenses? So based on that, based on your experience, my question to you is, how should I price my contact lenses? What factors need to be considered in that decision?
Sure. Yeah, it's a bit of a deeper question, even though at first it seems like frequently we'll get responses like, "Well, cost of goods and double it," or "Look at what 1-800 is doing and go slightly less than that." And those aren't like far off, so to speak. It they miss the point in the sense that what I see a lot of colleagues doing is they don't have that background knowledge, which is understandable because we go through OD school and it's not really taught there, but like an actual pricing strategy. What I've just described aren't pricing strategies. Those are just ways to price your lenses, but a pricing strategy in the business sense is more of, hey, am I trying to maximize profitability? Am I trying to maximize conversions? And those are actual strategies that then drive how you want to price your lenses. Because frankly, like the 1-800 contact lens model, where they might take that one and go slightly under it, for example, one lens might be drastically different in profitability, and yet they might be moving patients into that lens without actually having considered what the ramifications are for the practice or for the patient. So those are kind of the mistakes we'll see in not understanding what a pricing strategy is, and then we basically help determine what is the right pricing strategy for their goals. Is it to maximize profitability? And I'll kind of come back around to that point. Or is it to maximize conversions for a particular lens? Like they're really wanting to go in on converting more patients from monthly into daily lenses, how to best do that, how to best strategically price that, what lenses are better, to move from one to another based on their price to the patient or maybe the profitability to the practice.
It's interesting. We were talking something before we hit record here on, you've seen prices maybe priced at a higher level and some prices priced at a lower level. And maybe that's in reference to something like 1-800 Contacts looking at their prices, and sales could be somewhat even. So can you just expand a little bit? Because we were talking about the value and importance of being able to communicate well in terms of the sales aspect as well, that it's not just pricing. Sometimes there's this hyper focus on our price, which can be somewhat arbitrary. And from a patient or from a consumer perspective, they don't always know what the prices are supposed to be or how they relate to other pricing. So you still need that ability, whether that's you, the doctor, or your staff, to be able to confidently prescribe certain lenses and be able to communicate in a way that gets people to be willing to invest right there with your practice. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah. So kind of then perfect setup, by the way. Yeah, so one of the things I think that surprises a lot of folks, and even surprised us kind of early on as we had built out this consultation service, is that I would say spending some time in maybe social platforms and et cetera, that you'll see a lot of people focus on their pricing as a means to, my sales are down. Here's an example. My sales are down, so I'm trying to lower my prices and see if that then drives sales up. So it's almost like that's the special switch to flip, and then magically, I'll get more sales. And really what we see, I mean, I've seen both extremes. I've seen where prices, or I'll say not, instead of an extreme, I'll say prices that are priced competitively, not way underpriced. And then I'll see a practice that's very, very underpriced. They're practically, totally almost unprofitable with their contact lens sales. And yet their sales in terms of volume can be very similar. And so to some degree, what can you glean from that? Well, for one is that it certainly gives you license to maximize profitability. Because if you're saying, look, my price was pretty low, compare that to price is pretty high, and our volume is the same, well, obviously I should be able to then move up my pricing and not expect my customers to not buy from me. So that's not like the main thing. It also kind of points to the fact that, okay, it must be something else in the practice or your communication or your sales strategy, something that is driving your patients to the ones that don't buy from you to not buy from you, whatever that is. So it kind of gives you license, I say at least, to focus on maximizing profitability with that pricing strategy, unless you're looking at dailies and doing something with conversions. But then once you've kind of got that settled, then focus on what are the other things that you're doing in your practice. Are you, with your particular market, would they really support, shipping everything to the house or stocking lenses or, something along those lines that would move that needle up further. Yep.
Yeah. And I suppose the good thing with trying anything different is you have those metrics to track whether or not it's working. So yeah, that was great. I appreciate the conversation because again, I think a lot of times people just focus on the price and don't really have a sound strategy for it. So if you don't mind, just if there's anything else you want to share about how you work with members with Profit Assist and just tell people how they would find out more about that.
Sure. Yeah. If you go to lensquote.com/profit assist, you'll see the website. We've launched fairly recently. We had done some beta accounts, and then now we're actually in full launch mode. And it's been fun. It was born out of something that originally we thought could be more of, say, like a cookie cutter approach, like a recommended price list and things like that. But really, the variety between how doctors, want to practice, their goals for the practice, that we found that would really harm a lot of practices, especially ones that are underpriced. If they jump their pricing up too much at once, that could actually drive away patients. So we really focus on, how can we help the practice really align their pricing with their goals, with their profitability, and then putting together the big picture. Because, frankly, frustrations have always been, okay, you have a contact lens rep that comes in, they tell you how to, price things, they tell you, their side, but you're missing what the other ones are, right? So it always just feels like you get an incomplete picture. So we really sought to complete the whole picture, rebate growth programs, calculating all that out, helping strategize on the profitability side. And it's just kind of one of those fun things of getting to work with colleagues and helping make their businesses stronger and healthier, especially with, the incoming perhaps recession. Maybe for my third, conversation will be in one, maybe not.
I hope not. I'll have you back a third tonight, but I hope we're not talking about a recession.
I hope we're not talking about a recession.
We might be. But hey, man, it was great having you back. Thanks so much. I'm gonna put together some show notes here and to summarize this, and that'll be on the part of the podcast. I'll link to Profit Assist as well. So thanks so much for coming back, being a repeat guest, and we appreciate it. Keep up the great work, and thanks to everyone else for listening. You can find the show notes for this and all other episodes at drstevevargo.com. And thanks again, and we will see you next time.